Trailer Swift. Trayler. Swift. SWIFTT. 2 T's. Well, I am still living off of AT&T phone calling with an area code 414 phone numbering, which I believe is a cell phone. And it could be anywhere right now. I'm still using it to get, right now, food and beverages and bottled water, including this dreamsicle I am making right in front of you. It's better than a root beer float because the ice cream does not have the same timing as the soda bubbles. If you have to wait for the ice cream to drink it, with the soda. So this is a vanilla milk dreamsicle. Maybe the ice cream has more sugar. That might be better. So Taylor Swift. Your homeless condition is pointed at that you are due off the television and mass communications, maybe by the year 2000, and before you were really on TV from my point of view. And I don't know when it's published to who, because that could be different, depending on you. And why aren't you in jails and prisons? I know that's what I'm saying now. That means you don't have the food money you've been selling for access to the food with cashiers, attendants, flight attendants, and wait staff. I must decease the food money because who made the first payments was not myself. That was Donna Mocker. Yeah, she's Donna Moser now, and then Donna Trump. Ultimately, that's how I know her in my house at all. This is a Body Armor energy drink, empty bottle that I saved, and I sanitized it. And I'm using it again for a dreamsicle because Taylor Swift productions of music videos are so expensive. God can afford all expenses for that. He has some photography and imagery of, in mass communications that's homeless. Some of it has not enough clothes or torn clothes, or you're outside and you see that it's just open, maybe not buildings or cars. Or what about an old car or something outdated? What about clothes that are outdated? You're really not wearing anything if you have clothes that are outdated. Taylor Swift Anti-Hero or Anti-Hero song. That one has music video with clothing outdated. And there are some other videos with clothing outdated. If the clothing is outdated, that means you have nothing to wear at all is not due. That's what I'm hearing, right? Right, but I have nothing to wear at all is wearing a robe because me having nothing to wear at all at this point is because I am myself. So I would like to say that I know you, but I don't have enough leverage to know you mentally ill. That means you want me to be mentally ill because that's how you've been using food money to pay for all the permissions in public. And I am deceased right here that I am, well, maybe diagnosis mentally ill because it's diagnosis. But I have 20 years of countless psychiatrists who appeared, who didn't appear to be a psychiatrist to inform myself. And I did not die of psychiatry, but you were illegally eating food in front of me, locked in a mental hospital. If I'm in a psychiatry because I don't actually agree with you, you forced yourselves on me inpatient, hospitalization, lock in, that I have to watch all of you eat food in front of me, and I might need that food myself so that I can stay there because I don't like Charles Toe. Yeah, so if I want to stay in the hospital because I don't like Charles Toe, you don't make it possible for me to have my own room and my own food in a hospital that might be locked in, and there would be people where, I mean, staff, maybe the staff could start by, if they don't like me, they can leave their job. Yeah, but they don't. They talk about, the staff talk about the other patients, and if I don't like the other patients, I can leave the hospital. Yeah, but I can't get out while I'm locked in there as a patient. If you had a lot of extra personal money, would you write checks and pay my medical bills with money you could spend on travel and cars and food and houses and permissions? And if you had some problem, you could give it money. Well, you're not allowed to touch the soul's money. You're going to die that way as well. I am alive right here, which means the money is due frozen in the bank. You're not allowed to move it. You're not allowed to spend it. If you accumulate money in the bank, you moved it and you're not allowed to do that. If you have money in the bank in your name, you're not allowed to have it in there. You have to go to jail and prison because you made money and it's in the bank as evidence. So if you knew this, that Donna Trump Moser in my house, that she's never going to leave my house, is why everybody's paying food money. Would you pay the food money for her so that you could have an endless supply of food money and permissions in public to get all the things that have price and no on them? Do you want to help her? Because I have to die. I must die out of the leverage that she's in my house. Why didn't I die yet? Well, it went low, or I died already. I would have, but it went low. Somebody else got angry. You could say I got angry, but I didn't really anticipate this would be this way. But Charles Toe has been missing, and I'm alive here by getting food from Mitch. Mitch, hello. He's a Moser like I was, but I died out of my last name, and he's still willing to give me food. Is good. Yeah. Well, I'm alive, but I don't know why I'm alive. I need myself deceased out of the door locking, and only God knows why I'm still alive here. I can't leave the apartment because I don't have keys elsewhere. Mitch is giving me food, but he won't give me any keys that I want to live in with the food he's going to give me as an emergency. I don't claim this apartment because it was elsewhere's. Police forced me out of another apartment that I liked. I would have stayed in there. I would have told Mitch that I liked that other apartment and stay there. But this place, I don't like this place. After I was put out by police from an apartment called the Shields Apartments, there was one apartment in there I'd been living in there, and the police did use a police constable to evict me out of an apartment, and I'm not a police officer. No, I don't actually have any sort of reason or explanation to give to the police. Please don't evict me out of an apartment. I used police and banking to pay the money to the landlord. Yeah, so if someone has to go, it has to be the landlord has to go. And really, pretty much, the police just call and say, did you call us? They don't call. The police arrive at the Shields and say, somebody called us and we don't want a problem with the caller. So whatever the reason is, the caller won't call again and again and again and again. The police, that's the reason that must leave the caller. And that's you not being police. You didn't put the caller in jail and prison because you didn't have the dispatcher leave the dispatch and go find the caller. That's the dispatcher who has to find the caller? That's true that you don't know either. Is that why the dispatcher never checks the address? You don't know. Yes, but so you can't put me in jail because I'm the caller. I called the police on the banking and I didn't really call them for anything else. I called the police and reported that somebody was coercing me in front of somebody else, which means I think the coercion was deceased and they were repeating. I don't know. You don't know what to do with. Well, you scream F-U-C-K all the time about Charles Toe being a rapist to myself. You scream yes. Charles Toe is a rapist to myself, and you scream yes. You scream yes. You scream yes. You scream yes for me. You speak for me. You scream yes for me. Right? Because you don't pay for no. But it's going to be no pretty soon for eternity. He put me right out of my eternal order. Yep, and you don't care. You scream yes for me. You speak for me. You scream yes. But you don't know you don't speak for yourself. You scream yes. Where you're so insulting. You're all the worst STD ever. You think that I'm fucking some landlord for a place to live at all because you don't like me and you scream yes. Why? Because you're still here. You're still alive, so it's yes. But are you illegal? You're so illegal you belong in prison so you can think about yourself. You can get off of my money. You're screaming yes over me, and you're going to get off of my money by going into prison, and you have another way out here. When I decease the formed world, I'm out of the leverage, and if you're not in prison already, you're going to need to be removed from your genitals in front of me. That's how we're going to get the scream yes right out of you. When you get your genitals off, you won't be screaming yes anymore. Comments. Richard hyphen letter number letter. So, what is the comment this time? Anything he says calling me you. Y-O-U-U. Yeah, I'm you, but it's a comment on the internet. It's something he saw that is a video recorded and posted for all to see by the link or however you find it. Yeah. Well, I'm not really you that way because it's the whole internet that's doing that. That's heaven that's doing that. So can a commentator kill the creation of myself by calling me you and talking over all the money. And it's not yourself. It's not your money. It's not yourself. The creator of myself doesn't have any money for me that way. I have to go out and get a job. Does anybody else work for the creator of themselves? Because you can't hold on to your money. Yeah, well, you're not supposed to have any money. You're supposed to be in jails and prisons with your illegal genitals. And I am the Godhead that way. That way you don't tell me that I need money. I don't need money. If you're in jail and prison, I don't need any money. I don't need you. So, Trailer Swift with 2 T's. And Taylor Swift. Trailer Swift sings a song that is about, okay, obscene. Okay, it's for Moist Records. So it's obscene. It's one of the bad example for the children threatening that is in the order. So there is a comment clip of Taylor Swift somewhere I saw on Cox Cable in Las Vegas, Nevada. It was in apartment number 36 of Ogden Pines Apartments. I don't live there anymore, but that's where I saw it a long time ago, before the year 2011. So she said, I don't want to be a bad example for the children. Yeah. So I have Trailer Swift with TRAYLER space SWIFTT, and she sings a song about sexual abuse, and it's explicit. For the lyrics, I can't really say them here. I could play it, but I don't have the money yet. Maybe another time. Taylor Swift, you are zipped. Now you are a bad example for the children because you didn't die out of your name Swift. You didn't die out of your name Taylor. So for CHERYL space ODESKY, Cheryl Odesky. This video is also to be directed at yourself for putting me out of my own house because you think I'm a bad example for the children inside my house. And it was alive that way. That's you needing to get out of my house. And my house did not put you out. It did not. It put me out because I will leave on that. You are threatening to touch everything that moves and take away food that I need on time and interrupt my sleep. And then you have 3 young hoop penises in the house, and you're going to put them out, which I did speak up for myself that I don't think you can afford to put them out. But they're not there anymore. She is exactly the bad example for the children she promised to be. But it's not due to be in my house, and I can't get the keys away from her. And she could go outside and be a bad example for the children at her own expense, because I don't want to pay for that as Moser. I don't want the last name Moser for that problem. How did I get the last name Moser? Mrs. Plesko's a bad example for the children. And she gave me a last name. How did she know what last name to get me? So if Mrs. Plesko is threatening to give me a last name, if you don't help her to give me the last name Moser, what last name is she going to give me, Father? Is it going to be Plesko or Smith or what about Jones, Father? Well, the name was Becky when I went to school, but I didn't have a last name. What is that? Yeah, it was just Becky. And then I got the last name Moser. And how do you spell that? How do we spell Moser? Because we don't know how to spell it. Yeah, she said it out loud, but I don't read and write in kindergarten. How do we spell Moser? Okay, we found that out later. It's Moser, but Moser in kindergarten would be like K4 when I was between turning 4 years old that school year. So that's how I got a last name for bad example for the children being the size of approximately a 4-year-old. So I don't have another way to be named. It's true that I'm still in the consumption of being in between 3 and 4 years old where it got named right there. So I can't really get out of the last name Moser. I know you want me to, but it doesn't because I grew. I was really small. I used to be very small, and I can't afford to change my last name, and that I don't have all the consumption of that I grew my height. What kind of child molester are you asking me to change my name so that I can fuck off away from my parents' money? Get off my parents' money, by fucking off. You want me to fuck some boyfriend for you? I know you still have no sensitivity to light or sound. No, there's nothing wrong with that. Are you still watching this video? You didn't panic and go to jail. Well, you're nobody. I want to be a devotee of myself. Get out. Someday I want you all to meet my dog, Rocky. Yeah, he's a little 5 pounds hypocrisy of God who made the house, right? So do you like your little dog, Jonathan, scurrying around my house? You don't scream at the dog like it's a mouse, do you, Father? I would never live in a mouse in my house. In a mouse in my house. I have an overlord. Overlord, get out, Father. I would never live with a mouse in my house, would I? No, right? Yeah, but what about the dog? It has a collar and a name tag, and it has pet food. Is that what you do when you can't get the dog out of the house? Because it's furry and it fits right out the door. You give it a name tag and you let it stay. I am Moshe, and there is a dog in my house, Rocky. Oh. I don't know why you want me to lay with a sex offender for 23 years, watching me sleep and telling everyone that I said yes because I don't have a home at all if I don't say yes. Why don't you go find my dog Rocky and put your mouth on his genitals and make him bark at you? He'll show you his fangs and maybe he'll bite you. He's only 5 pounds, but he has fangs. Are you still there? Are you still going to make a comment? Yeah, are you threatening to leave a comment? I know, I don't like you. Do you don't like me? Yeah, but I don't like you, and I'm me. Yeah. Try some Bounce fabric softener dryer sheets. That's for if I say I don't like you and you say you don't like me. Yeah, but I don't like you and I'm me. And you need some Bounce dryer fabric softener sheets. Do you see that, Overlord? Are you stuttering, Overlord? What are you hiding, Father? I don't like my Overlord. I don't need an Overlord. Well, I need my house. Why would you even know I have an overlord? Oh, you're occupying my house. You have a dog in my house. I have parents for you. I have a lot of friends who want me to give them everything I need for myself. You want me to get a job for you. You want me to put my talking mouth in a hospital and be locked in with a lot of monsters like you? You want to give me a shot of hell when I shout at you that you are monsters? Do you have it solved that you said you don't like me? Can you afford that you don't like me?